There's a reason the most successful people in the world don't get dragged down by negativity. It's not because they avoid toxic people, it's because they've mastered how to deal with them. Toxic people are everywhere, in our workplaces, our social circles, even our families. But smart people don't just survive them, they thrive in spite of them. Here's how. Toxic people operate from a place of insecurity, fear, or control. They drain energy, create drama, and sabotage progress. But smart people understand this isn't about them. It's about the toxic person's own limitations. Instead of reacting, they respond with strategy. Smart people know that being kind doesn't mean being a doormat. They define clear lines. I won't tolerate disrespect. I'm not available for constant negativity. Boundaries aren't cruel. They are self-respect. Toxic people want engagement. They want you to argue, explain, or defend. Smart people refuse to play. They stay calm, redirect, or simply say, I hear you. Without fueling the fire, time is finite. Smart people ask, does this person deserve a front row seat in my life? They limit exposure, prioritize positivity, and walk away when necessary. Because success requires focus, understanding why someone is toxic doesn't mean excusing it. Smart people think, hurt people hurt people. They don't internalize the toxicity. They observe it, learn from it, and move on. Toxic people thrive in dysfunction. Smart people invest in growth. Better skills, better circles, better mindsets. They don't waste time winning arguments. They win by rising above. You don't control toxic people, but you control how much they affect you. Set boundaries, protect your peace, and remember, the best revenge is not anger, it's success. When you refuse to let negativity dictate your life, you win. The most successful individuals in any field understand one fundamental truth. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow. When someone crosses a line and you let it slide, you've silently given them permission to do it again. Smart people don't confuse kindness with weakness. They don't mistake patience for unlimited tolerance. They draw clear, unshakable lines, not out of anger, but out of self-respect. Toxic people test boundaries like children testing rules. They push to see how much they can get away with. The moment you waver, they sense it. The moment you hesitate, they exploit it. But those who operate at a higher level don't leave room for negotiation when it comes to their dignity. They don't argue their boundaries, they enforce them. This isn't about being harsh or unfeeling. It's about recognizing that love, for yourself and others, requires structure. A parent who never says no raises an entitled child. A leader who never sets limits invites chaos. A person who never stands firm will be perpetually drained. The beauty of boundaries is that they remove the guesswork. Toxic people thrive in ambiguity. They love the gray areas where they can manipulate, guilt trip, or play the victim. But when you make your standards crystal clear, they either adapt or remove themselves from your life. Some will call you cold. Some will accuse you of being difficult. Let them, the right people, the ones who add value to your life, will respect your lines without complaint. The wrong ones will reveal themselves by their resistance. Think of boundaries as filters. They don't just keep the bad out. They ensure that only those who truly belong get close. The more you enforce them, the less you'll need to. Toxic people eventually stop testing you when they realize you're not an easy target. This isn't selfishness. It's stewardship. You only get one mind, one energy reserve, one life. Guarding it isn't arrogance. It's responsibility. The world will always have takers. Smart people ensure they're not among the givers who get drained dry. Weak boundaries attract users. Strong boundaries attract equals. The moment you stop explaining, justifying, or apologizing for your standards, you unlock a new level of peace. No drama, no mind games, just mutual respect. Toxicity survives where silence allows it. The moment you speak your limits with calm conviction, you shift the power dynamic, not with aggression, but with absolute certainty. No is a complete sentence. People will try to frame your boundaries as a problem, as if you're the one being unreasonable for refusing to tolerate what harms you. Don't buy into that narrative. Healthy relationships don't require you to abandon self-preservation. The hardest lesson: some relationships can't be saved once boundaries are set, and that's okay. Not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. Some are lessons, not lifelong connections. Boundaries aren't walls, they're gates. They keep the chaos out so the best parts of your life can flourish. The more you protect your peace, the more you'll attract those who honor it. This is the paradox: the firmer your boundaries, the more love you can actually give, because you're not wasting it on those who don't deserve it. Resentment dies where limits live. The ultimate test of self-worth isn't how much you tolerate, it's what you refuse to. Smart people don't negotiate their dignity, they set the terms, everyone else adjusts. Toxicity feeds on engagement. Every argument you entertain, every insult you acknowledge, every piece of nonsense you respond to is oxygen to their fire. Smart people know this. They don't just avoid the bait. They refuse to acknowledge the hook. There's an art to detachment. It's not indifference, it's strategy. When a toxic person throws a verbal grenade, the explosion only happens if someone pulls the pin, walk away, and it's just a harmless object on the ground. Some people are addicted to chaos. They need the adrenaline of conflict, the validation of a reaction. When you refuse to supply it, they either escalate, revealing their true nature, or move on to easier targets. Either way, you win. This isn't about suppression. It's about selection. Not every thought needs to be voiced. Not every provocation deserves a response. The more you engage, the more you lower yourself to their level. Toxic people are masters of deflection. They'll drag you into debates about your reaction rather than their action. Why are you so sensitive? Can't you take a joke? Smart people don't take the bait. They let the absurdity hang in the air, unanswered. Silence is a weapon. A pause, a blank stare, a simple okay can disarm more effectively than any comeback. When you don't supply the expected drama, their script falls apart. The goal isn't to win an exchange, it's to remove yourself from the game entirely. Toxic people play checkers. Smart people don't even sit at the board. This takes practice. The ego wants to defend, explain, correct. But maturity asks, what does engaging actually gain? If the answer is nothing but exhaustion, the choice is clear. Some will mistake your silence for weakness. Let them. The loudest in the room are rarely the most powerful. Real strength doesn't need to announce itself. The irony: the less you engage, the more control you have. Toxic people lose power when they can't dictate your emotions. Your calm becomes their frustration. This isn't about them, it's about you. Every minute spent in unnecessary conflict is a minute stolen from your growth. Protect your focus like the irreplaceable resource it is. There's freedom in non-reaction. When you stop caring about the opinions of those who don't matter, you reclaim your energy for what does. The world will always have critics, complainers, and chaos agents. Smart people don't try to change them. They simply stop funding them with attention. Starve the drama and it dies. Feed it and it thrives. The choice is always yours. The most valuable currency in life isn't time or money, it's attention. Where you direct your mental energy determines the quality of your thoughts, the depth of your work, and ultimately the trajectory of your life. Smart people understand this at a cellular level. They guard their focus with the same intensity a lion guards its kill, because distractions don't just cost minutes, they cost momentum. Toxic people are attention black holes. They demand your mental real estate with complaints, gossip, manufactured crises, and emotional vampirism. Every second spent entertaining their nonsense is a second stolen from your potential. The math is brutal. Give them an inch of your mind, and they'll take a mile of your progress. High performers operate differently. They've mastered the art of selective ignorance, not the ignorance of important matters, but the deliberate tuning out of anything that doesn't serve their mission. When a toxic person starts spewing negativity, they don't just hear it and move on. They don't hear it at all. Their mental filters are that refined. This isn't about being cold or disconnected. It's about recognizing that your brain has limited processing power. You can either invest that power in creating something meaningful or waste it on people who specialize in meaninglessness. The choice determines whether you'll build an empire or become a minor character in someone else's soap opera. Think of your attention as a spotlight. Shine it on problems and they grow. Shine it on solutions and they materialize. Shine it on toxicity and you'll get more toxicity. Smart people aim their beam with surgical precision, illuminating only what deserves to be seen. The modern world is engineered to fracture focus. Toxic people are just one flavor of distraction among many. But here's the secret. You don't have to respond to every mental tug on your sleeve. Just because someone throws you their emotional baggage doesn't mean you have to catch it. Let it hit the floor. Keep walking. Some will call this selfish. Let them. History isn't made by people who pleased everyone. It's made by those who protected their ability to think deeply while the world screamed for shallow attention. Your future self will thank you for every ounce of focus you saved from being diluted. The compounding effect is staggering. 1 hour of protected focus daily equals 365 hours a year. That's 9 full work weeks of pure progress. Now calculate what toxic interruptions cost over a decade. The numbers don't lie. Toxicity can't survive in a vacuum. When you stop feeding it your energy, it withers, not immediately. These patterns have inertia, but inevitably. Your silence isn't passive. It's a strategic withdrawal of resources. This requires ruthless prioritization. Not everything that screams for your attention deserves it. Most emergencies aren't. Most dramas don't matter. Most opinions are irrelevant. Filter accordingly. Your focus is the womb of your future. What you nurture grows. What you ignore starves. Choose your mental investments like your legacy depends on them, because it does. The highest performers aren't necessarily the smartest or most talented. They're just the best at eliminating distractions. They've learned that saying no to nonsense is how you say yes to greatness. Protecting your attention isn't just productivity, it's self-preservation. In an age of infinite distractions, the ability to focus is becoming the ultimate superpower. There's a profound difference between understanding someone's pain and allowing them to weaponize it against you. Smart people grasp this distinction instinctively. They recognize that toxicity usually stems from unhealed wounds, but they refuse to become collateral damage in someone else's unresolved war. When a toxic person lashes out, it's rarely about you. It's about their own internal fractures. The cruel comment, the passive aggression, the constant negativity, these are symptoms, not causes. Like a wounded animal biting anything that comes near, hurt people often hurt people not out of malice, but out of reflex. This understanding is powerful, but dangerous if misapplied. Compassion without boundaries is self-destruction. Smart people extend empathy from a distance, close enough to understand, but never so close that they get cut by the shrapnel. The trap many fall into is believing that if they love hard enough, listen long enough, or forgive often enough, the toxic person will change. But here's the hard truth. Healing isn't something you can do for someone else. It's an inside job. Your patience doesn't cure their brokenness. It just gives them more time to bleed on you. This isn't about writing people off. It's about recognizing that you can't pour from an empty cup. You can wish someone well without allowing them to make you unwell. Distance isn't punishment. It's preservation of your ability to care for those who truly need it. Watch how people handle their pain. Do they take responsibility or take hostages? The former deserve your support. The latter will drain you dry and call you selfish when you finally say enough. The healthiest approach is detached compassion. The ability to say, I see why you're like this, without adding, and I'll suffer because of it. You can acknowledge someone's trauma without volunteering to be their emotional punching bag. Some relationships are lessons in what not to accept. The person who constantly projects their insecurities onto you isn't a villain. They're a mirror showing you where your boundaries need reinforcement. Toxicity often disguises itself as vulnerability. I'm just being honest masks cruelty. I'm sensitive justifies tantrums. I've been through a lot. Becomes a free pass for bad behavior. Smart people see through these disguises without falling for the performance. The most liberating realization, you're not responsible for fixing anyone. Your job isn't to heal, save, or complete others. It's to show up whole yourself and let others do their own work. This doesn't require harshness. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is stop enabling. By refusing to participate in someone's destructive patterns, you create the friction that might, just might, push them toward real change. but that's not why you do it. You do it because your peace isn't negotiable, because every minute spent managing someone else's emotions is a minute not spent honoring your own. Understanding toxicity doesn't mean tolerating it. It means recognizing it for what it is, and choosing yourself anyway. The most powerful response to toxicity isn't a clever comeback, it's irreversible growth. Smart people understand that trying to win against petty minds is like wrestling with a pig. You both get dirty and the pig enjoys it. Instead, they focus on becoming so far ahead that the noise fades into irrelevance. Toxic people live in a world of scarcity. They believe your success somehow diminishes theirs. Your achievements trigger their insecurities. Your progress highlights their stagnation. Your light exposes their darkness. Their only play is to drag you back to their level through criticism, doubt, or drama. The antidote? Leave that level entirely. Arguments with toxic individuals are designed to be unwinnable. They'll shift goalposts, employ logical fallacies, and weaponize emotions. The moment you engage, you've already lost, because you're playing a game where the rules change mid-match. Smart people don't play, they upgrade the game. Think of toxicity as gravity. It only has power if you stay within its pull, but growth creates escape velocity. The higher you climb in skills, achievements, and emotional intelligence, the weaker its hold becomes. Soon, what once seemed like loud distractions become faint background noise. This requires patience. In the short term, walking away from arguments feels like losing. But in the long term, every minute not wasted on nonsense compounds into mastery. While toxic people are stuck recycling the same petty dramas, you're building something that can't be torn down by words. Success isn't just the best revenge. It's the only revenge that matters. A thriving business, a healthy mindset, a life well lived. These are unassailable. Critics can attack your opinions, but they can't argue with your results. Haters can question your methods, but they can't deny your outcomes. The transformation happens quietly at first. As you grow, you'll notice their words sting less. Then you'll realize you're hearing them less. Eventually, you'll look back and wonder why you ever gave them mental space at all. That's when you know you've won, not because you defeated them, but because you rendered them irrelevant. This isn't about ego. It's about energy economics. Toxic people want you to invest your finite mental resources in their circus. Smart people invest those same resources in building their empire. The ROI isn't even comparable. Some relationships have expiration dates. The person who fits your life at one level may become toxic at another. This isn't betrayal, it's evolution. Not everyone grows at the same pace, and trying to drag others along only slows you down. The ultimate power move, letting your progress speak for itself. No explanations, no justifications, no, I told you so. Just consistent forward motion that leaves toxicity in the dust. They'll call you arrogant as you grow. They'll say you've changed when you stop tolerating what you once did. Let them. Growth isn't a group activity. It's a solo journey where the prize goes to those willing to leave the crowd behind. The world's most impactful people didn't get there by winning arguments. They got there by becoming undeniable. When your presence carries more weight than their words, you've transcended the noise. Toxicity can't follow where you're going. Keep climbing. The choice is yours. Every interaction with toxicity is a test of your priorities. Will you engage in battles that drain you or invest in growth that sustains you? The decision determines your trajectory. Toxic people are inevitable, but misery is optional. You'll always encounter negativity, but suffering from it is a choice. Smart people don't avoid storms. They learn to dance in the rain without drowning. Your peace is the ultimate priority. Nothing, not being right, not proving a point, not winning an argument, is worth sacrificing your inner calm. Protect it like your life depends on it. Silence speaks louder than clapbacks. The most powerful response to pettiness isn't a witty insult. It's undisturbed focus. Let your success be the mic drop. Boundaries are love in action, saying no. To what drains you is how you say yes to what fulfills you. The right people will respect your lines. The wrong ones will reveal themselves. Not everyone deserves a front row seat in your life. Some people are meant to be spectators. Others are lessons, and a rare few earn the privilege of closeness. Allocate your energy accordingly. Growth is the best revenge while toxic people recycle drama. You're building legacy. Their words fade, your impact doesn't. You can't change others, but you can outgrow them. Stop trying to fix people who enjoy their dysfunction. Rise to a level where their noise can't reach you. Hurt people, but you don't have to be their target. Understanding toxicity's roots doesn't mean tolerating its effects. Empathy without boundaries is self-sabotage. Energy flows where attention goes. What you feed grows. Starve foolishness, nourish greatness. Toxicity loses power when you stop reacting like a fire without oxygen. Drama dies when ignored. Your indifference is their kryptonite. The high road isn't weakness. It's strategy. Walking away isn't surrender. It's refusing to play a rigged game. Let fools chase chaos while you build empires. Your circle should inspire, not expire. Surround yourself with those who force you to level up. Anyone who makes you doubt yourself doesn't deserve you. This is your life, not their drama. Time is the one currency you can't earn back. Spend it on purpose, not petty battles. You become unbreakable. Master these principles, and no toxicity can derail you. The world needs your best. Don't let the worst distract you from delivering it.